already have Danny Rick on provisional pole. I'm joined here with Freccia Viola and Joshua Brown, sorry. Hello guys, what do you think of the race today?
I know, I'm quite excited to be here with you. Sorry to cut you off there, Josh. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one with you. I enjoyed your Singapore commentary last week, so glad to be here with you and Josh. Josh, how's it going?
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm looking forward to it. It's the first time being in the commentary, and had my first race yesterday, so I'm looking forward to hopefully doing many more.
Yeah, alright. As we have, I do believe Veloce is in a hot lap, finishing it right now. Where can he put the McLaren on the medium tyre compound? Runs corner 9 into corner 10, which is the final corner. Takes the corner, oh, loses the back end a little bit there. Crosses the line, will he improve? Only by one position, going ahead of Manuel. Manuel starting his flyer right now in the Racing Point F1 car team. What do you guys think of Manuel? Do you think he'll be able to finish the race? And if he does, where will he finish?
Sorry, who did you say? You couldn't just put out a bit.
Manuel Antunes.
I feel like he could be in a good chance if he just puts his head down and concentrates. I mean, he just got an invalid lap there. Went a little bit over the track limits, but other than that, I feel like he might, if he just puts his head down and concentrates, he could be in a good chance.
Yeah, I just saw that too, mate. What in invalidating on up into corner 4 there.
Up into corner 4.
Frecci, who is your driver to watch today? I think we've lost Frecci.
Oh, sorry, go ahead, Noah.
Yeah, I was saying, who is your driver to watch today?
My driver to watch is going to have to be Tasmanian Devil 79. I think he's going to try and rebound from his P2 in Singapore here with a strong performance today.
Yeah, he was very close to the victory, Tasmanian, last weekend. If he can get it right this weekend, he should be able to be challenging for the race lead and the win in the end. As I do think we have Williams coming to the line here. What does he do? He doesn't go any further up the grid, but does a 104.9 from a 105.2. As we have Veloce pulling back into the pit box here, but followed by two Mercedes of Project Raw and Tasmanian Devil. Starting his hot lap now, rounding the final corner. Hits that DRS detection point now very nicely up into corner 1, right on board here with Tasmanian Devil. Tasmanian Devil looking very nice, taking the corners perfectly. What do you think of Danny Rick's performance last weekend, Frecci?
Yeah, that was a fantastic performance from the Williams driver. He secured his first podium. He's a good driver that we're gonna have to watch again. Noah, what did you think of his performance last week? Could he close in?
I do think he could, man. He was driving very well. When he hit the rain, he did slow down a little bit, but after it went dry, he recouped himself and was flying. And maybe could have won the race. As Tasmanian Devil through the middle sector sets a purple sector. What can he do?
Yeah, I'm really impressed with Tasmanian Devil so far this season. He's a talented driver.
That indeed. As he rounds the final corner, where will he put the Mercedes P3 right behind Danny Rick, but followed by his teammate Project Raw up into P8. Just happened had rejoined us.
Both of the Ferraris have just went back into the box.
That is
correct.
correct.
Seems to be changing tires, maybe trying something different.
Johnny with a purple middle sector here, and gets invalidated on corner 8. That is unfortunate to see from a Renault F1 team driver.
It looks like Gunter Racing is coming around. He's a new addition to eSPORTS. The Austrian driver is in his home track in his debut, so that's something kind of special. See, it looks like he's coming around on a flyer.
As indeed, as he invalidates on corner 9, took it a little bit too aggressive. As we have Berries rounding the final corner, activates that DRS detection point.
Very good lap.
P3.
Very good lap. Puts him into P3.
Yeah.
Solid lap.
Solid lap from Barry's there. Wow.
Solid lap. He took the last 2 corners very well. Spectating for the final part of his lap just there.
Yeah, so something we can mention is Josh, who's joining us in the booth today, actually had his debut in Tier 2 of UN eSports. How did it go? How did you find racing in Tier 2, Josh? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. It was just my first proper competitive race, and I mean, P11, it's could have been a bit better. I had a bit of a silly mistake, and then I dive bombed into a corner. Probably shouldn't have, but I really enjoyed it. But hopefully next week now I don't make the same mistakes I made going into corners, taking them too aggressive, just sitting off a little bit, and then hopefully I can finish a little bit higher. Hopefully I can score points.
Yeah, happens to all of us, man. Yeah, great debut performance. Not exactly what you're looking for. That second safety car really, I know it screwed over me at least, so I know that you probably handled it well. So good job.
The safety cars was the catching up to the queue, and then I went into the final corner then, and somebody just pressed the brakes a little bit too early, and I tried to go around it, tried to dodge it, but I just damaged my wing, so I had to go into the pits then, and I lost a couple of positions.
It looks like Chazza's going around for a hot lap. The Red Bulls are doing absolutely fantastic. They're the constructor points leaders right now. Across both tiers, they're doing absolutely great. Troy A took home the win yesterday in Tier 2. He got 25 points in a solid showing. So we'll see what Chazza can do, since looks like Comrade Brooks is going to be out this race. He said that he's going to possibly try to join during quali, but at the end of Q2 here, there's still no sign of Comrade. So we'll see what Chazza can do by himself.
Chazza is followed by Veloce on the 2 McLarens, 8,000 RPM, and Veloce behind him. But Chazza will be rounding corner 7 as we are on board with him right now. He sweeps into corner 8 very nicely. Hits the straight. As he approaches corner 9, right after the 50-meter break, you want to slam on the brakes. Takes the curve very nicely. Into corner 10, the final corner. Hits the apex beautifully. Where will this put the Red Bull driver? He does not improve.
It was his outlap, I guess. It looks like Veloce, though, is coming around on this fire. He's definitely going to have to put this car up higher. Well, get this car. He's on the soft compound. He's still in Q2 here. So
Veloce up into P5, followed by his teammate, who is invalidated and cannot improve from P8. That is unfortunate to see. As we do have a weird glitch going on. It says Verstappen is on his outlap once again.
The 2 Ferraris are possibly struggling a little bit going into turn 1. They're not as fast as
but the Ferrari has just a purple middle sector rounding corner 10 now. Where will he put the Ferrari car? Or runs a little bit wide, does not invalidate, manages to keep down the track, but where can he go? He puts it into P5 ahead of Veloce.
Wow, good lap there for Kraken.
Just takes back my words I just said. Fair play, good lap.
Yeah, fair play to him indeed, yeah, good lap. Kraken. We'll see here, it looks like everyone has decided to start on the soft compound.
That is correct, Richie.
So we won't be seeing differing strategies here. It'll be one large pack.
As Danny Rick performing very well once again, like how he did in Singapore or in P2 in the Q2 session. But Manuel takes provisional pole and will be hoping to continue his form onto the Q3 session, as this Manuel leads from Danny Rick, from Berries, Tasmanian Devil, Kraken, Veloce, The Dunster, Johnny R, 8,000 RPM, Project Raw, Vody, Verstappen, Punta Racing, and Cliffy.
It's going to be an interesting Q3 to see if Daniel Rick can back that up with another P2 or possibly higher.
As we still have Verstappen on an outlap for some reason. But Cliffy did not set a lap time, which means he will get a fresh set of tires, unlike the rest of the drivers who did set lap times. Okay, Verstappen has left the session, which means we will be continuing on to the Q3 session. That's unfortunate to see from the Red Bull F1 team driver. He's out in this Q2 session. Alright, let's take one more run through the grid. We have Manuel, Danny Rick, Berries, Tasmanian Devil, Kraken, Veloce, The Dunster, Johnny R95, 8000 RPM, Project Raw making his second Q3 appearance here. Maybe he's starting to find pace in that Mercedes car, as his teammate is one of the fastest drivers on this grid. But we have lost Rudy, Chestappen, Bunta Racing and Cliffy.
Cliffy has had lobby issues in the past. He's also had qualifying issues, so this does not help adding to another issue in the qualifying sessions.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Cliffy. I think maybe he has a tendency to start back. I'm not sure completely if it's lobby issues or if he's choosing to start on that free tire compound, but interesting nonetheless.
As who will be the first driver to pull out in the pole position shootout, which is Q3. Danny Rick in the Williams is pulling out. As I'm right by his pit box here.
I feel
as
like
a Ferrari
is trying to... Oh, sorry.
Ferrari pulls out behind him as well. Sorry, Josh, what were we saying there?
Daniel Rick is probably going to try back this up. Back up that strong P2 qualifying session in Q2, so I think he's going to try back it up the best he can and hopefully finishing the same, maybe going into the head of the race. What do you think about that, Free Gigi?
Yeah, I probably agree with you there. It's going to be interesting to see.
Sorry, Fretchy, go ahead. Alright, as we have Daniel Rick will be the first of these drivers to set a flyer. And he's followed by Kraken, Veloce, Tasmanian Devil, and I do believe that is Dunster pulling out as well, followed by 8000 RPM behind him. And is that Manuel? That is Manuel pulling out. Oh, and Dunster gets disqualified. Was that just me who saw that, or?
No, Daniel Rick is...
Here comes Daniel Rick.
But he's out on his out lap, so he's just starting his lap now.
Daniel Rick up into corner 1.
Goes into turn 1. Up into corner 1. Takes it very well, takes it very, very well.
Daniel Rick.
Project Raw. Oh, sorry. We just keep talking at the same time.
Yeah. Daniel Rick doing very well in the Williams car as he's approaching. I do believe this is corner 5, and it is corner 5. Make sure he goes extra wide on the exit, cuts in very nice, hits the apex, locks up a little bit. Whoa, loses the back end. Danny Rick spins it on the track. Will that prevent anyone behind him from... Will that make anyone behind him slow down? As Kraken... No, he comes out of the way of Kraken. And Kraken will be the first driver to set a time since Danny Rick has spun. Kraken purple to the middle sector by default.
And if you notice as well, Project Raw still has not come out of the pits. He is staying put where he is for now.
Oh, Kraken invalidates on corner 9. But here comes Veloce though. Veloce taking it very nicely. Veloce flying through this last part of the track into corner 10. Doesn't go too wide for invalidation. Hits that DRS detection point very nicely. But it says at 103.093 for his provisional pole lap. What's followed by Johnny. Sorry, as we're riding on board the Veloce. Well, Johnny goes up into P2. As Tasmanian Devil rounding the final corner now, but is on an invalidated flyer. As
Rick has set a purple first sector as well. Sector 1, purple first sector on this lap. He seems to be trying to back up his P2 the best he can. He locks up a little bit, he goes a bit, almost goes over the track limits.
Danny pushing the track limits, trying to get time wherever he can. As we do have 8000 RPM coming to the line, where does he go? P3. He's followed by Berries and then followed by Manuel. Where is Manuel going to put the car? And he's on an invalidated flyer. Shame to see. But we have Danny Rick rounding corner 9 here. Takes it nicely, doesn't
as much as he can.
Making sure to take. Where will Danny Rick put it? Does he take? He does take P2 away from Johnny. But Project Raw has pulled out, as you're saying he hadn't yet.
Yeah, that Dunster also disqualified. Did you see what happened there now? Do you know?
I was on board with him and it looked like he was... I think he might have gotten the blocking pit lane glitch where it disqualifies you from this session if you drive too slow in the pit lane.
So Johnny Orr is back in the pits.
That is correct. Danny Rick into P2, but as we were watching, Tasmanian Devil goes P2, only not even a tenth away from Veloce. This is going to be the pole position shootout we were hoping for, as they're the top three, not separated by 2/10. I think it's 3/10. Sorry, 3/10.
Veloce pushing track limits again. Oh, he spins out. Oh, he's in the gravel.
Oh, Veloce, no, hasn't practiced a lot really much this weekend, but it's warming up those tires. Maybe going for another push lap on those soft compound tires. As it is, he activates the hot lap mode of his ERS, approaches corner 10, takes it nicely, makes sure not to run too wide on the exit or you will invalidate. But he's going to start his flyer now, right on board here with the McLaren driver, up into corner 1, spots the braking point very nicely, make sure it doesn't ride too wide on the exit of corner 1. Well, here comes Veloce flying up into corner 4, I do believe, and make almost his car completely off the track there. Veloce down into corner 5, flying at the moment. Wants to slam the brakes after the 50-meter board. There's it very nicely, locks up a little bit. There does the McLaren driver. Right on board here with him into corner 6, which is that sweeping left that you barely touch the brakes and back onto the power. Into corner 7, and he gets purple sector for good measure. Into corner 8, approaching corner 9 now. Where will Veloce put the McLaren?
Daniel Rick is just coming back out of the pits as well.
Oh, Veloce invalidates, decides to back out. But we do have Project Raw on a flyer. Project Raw making sure he doesn't invalidate, doesn't run too wide on the curbs as some of the drivers have. As Project Raw taking that final corner in 7th gear, goes too much over the curb.
His fuel was also running low. Keep that in mind. He may have just wanted to push that to see if he could get across the line, but it doesn't look like it worked out for him just the way he wanted it to.
Cracking on a flyer now. Where can he put the Ferrari car, as he is the only Ferrari driver, and he gets purple sector 2 for good measure. Kraken flying in that car. Where can he put it? Kraken do very well. Rounding corner 9, doesn't take it too aggressively. 10, rounding corner 10, make sure it doesn't go too wide. As he comes to the line now, where will he put the car? Up into P7. And that is unfortunate to see, but we have Danny Rick starting his flyer now.
Tasmanian Devil also has just come back out of the pits. He is on his outlap.
That is true. The two Racing Point drivers and the Mercedes drivers have pulled back out, as Manuel, who did not set a flyer, is going to be hoping to set a steaming flyer right now to take pole away from Veloce. But his teammate up ahead, Berries, will be starting the lap first. As here comes Berries, rounding corner 9. Doesn't active. He does not seem to be. He might be giving his teammate a slipstream here. He is giving his teammate a slipstream. As Berries compromises the own lap to benefit the Racing Point team.
Teammates, extremely good teamwork.
Berries giving him the slipstream. Manuel taking the slipstream from Berries. Berries will be pulling off the racing line to let Manuel go by, as he will get a few extra miles per hour with the slipstream of his teammate. Berries compromised himself to give his teammate the benefit, which is extremely good teamwork and shows how much they are communicating.
That's extremely good teamwork there.
But while we're watching that, Taz is on a flyer at the moment. Where can Taz put the Mercedes car? Taz into corner 6 now. Where will he go? Make sure it doesn't go too wide on the exit or you will invalidate. And he's 1/10 up on his previous time, but isn't faster than Veloce. Maybe he will.
He's coming back onto the home stretch now.
Here comes Manuel. Manuel takes pole away.
The P1.
But here comes Taz. Taz wanted to take back that pole position lap away, but he does do it by well over a tenth. This is the pole position shootout we were watching, as Berries will be hoping his teammate gives him back slipstream, as his teammate does do it. This is excellent teamwork here from the Racing Point drivers.
That was a really solid lap there for Manuel. Really solid lap.
As he's giving his teammate slipstream at the moment. But Veloce on a flyer wanting to take pole away from both of these drivers of Tasmanian Devil and Manuel. But Veloce did not get a purple sector 1. Will be hoping to make up the time to the rest of the course. Veloce spots a braking point very nicely, locks up a little bit of tire smoke off. But here comes Veloce to corner 6. Takes it, make sure it doesn't to go too wide on the exit, as he does very nicely into corner 7, which is a sweeping, and he's 2/10 up on the time. Could we possibly see a 1:02.5? He tries to get the slipstream off of Tasmanian Devil, but Veloce now riding those curves, making sure he gets the maximum use of the track limits. But here comes Veloce rounding the final corner now. He will take pole away from them, and he does by a well over a 10th. Tasmanian Devil 1/10 down on Veloce. Manuel 1/10 down on Tasmanian Devil. Danny Rick a few tenths down on the top 3.
Wow, what an amazing event right there in the final part of the qualifying. That was just amazing. What great racing from Racing Point, Berries and Manuel. Great teamwork right there. Tasmanian Devil comes right back and sets the full lap, and then Veloce goes over and quickly. Wow.
That was really solid teamwork from the 2 Racing Point drivers.
Yeah, it's great commentary from you both too. Wow, I was just watching right there, taking it in as a viewer. Great stuff.
Very nice. As we have Danny Rick rounding his flying lap. Sorry, as here comes Danny Rick.
Also, just got an invalidation. He went way too wide. He's gone back into the pits now. That's the
Here comes Project Grotto in the Mercedes. Will he outqualify his teammate for the first time this season? Does he do it? But he jumped up into P5 for good measure, and that is a great lap there from the Mercedes driver. As we have Danny Rick on the last flyer of this session, I do believe. No, one of the last flyers of this session.
Kraken has just started his last flyer. He seems to be pushing really aggressively.
8,000 RPM.
Like Raw just doesn't really move out of his way. That might slow him down.
Might have cost him, but Danny Rick flying very nicely indeed here. Make sure not to run too wide, as he is doing nicely indeed. He sets purple sector 2. Could this be a pole lap from the Williams driver of Danny Rick rounding corner 9 now? What will he do, as he will be coming to the line? That runs too wide. He runs too wide. Danny Rick must be kicking himself in that Williams cockpit, wondering why did he push so hard on the exit, man. He could have had pole possibly, but we have 8,000
RPM. Still pushing really aggressive now around turn 9.
That is correct.
Too late. Chose not to run too wide.
Kraken, could he still fall away?
Very good wrap.
Kraken goes P4 wide of Danny Rick. But here comes 8,000 RPM trying to follow suit of his teammate and get into that top 3. 8,000 RPM takes the last corner nicely indeed, but can't go faster than his teammate. And I do believe that is P6 for 8,000 RPM. Good showing from the McLaren boys today.
So unfortunately Daniel Rick isn't able to back up that P2 that he had in Q2, but he is still must be kicking himself after that final lap, running really wide on turn 9.
You are correct, but let's take a running order through this grid at the moment. It's L1 Veloce, followed by Tasmanian Devil, Manuel, Kraken, Danny Rick, 8,000 RPM, Project Raw, Johnny R, 95, Berries and Dunster, which Dunster, very disappointing, got disqualified early on in the session, couldn't even set a lap. But Veloce, maybe he can do a lights to flag victory if he sets a good enough time. I mean, if he does a good enough stint on his softs.
No, just to get your verdict after that now, what do you think the outcome of this race is going to be, with a little bit of an upset there for Daniel Rick running wide on turn 9?
Oh, I think Daniel Rick he's going to be driving very aggressively, trying to make back that loss of positions. as we just wait here for the grid to load in, and we'll be doing the formation lap.
Kraken had a very strong last lap as well. He's moved up a couple of positions.
Indeed he did.
Just hope that this is an exciting race and we get everyone finishes the race in one piece.
Indeed. As we have 4 seconds waiting for this formation lap to start. As Veloce heading the field, as he did last weekend. It's Veloce, as we will just take you to our running order really quick. It's Veloce, Tasmanian Devil, Manuel, Kraken, Danny Rick, 8000 RPM, Project Raw, Johnny R, 95, Berries, Donsta. Oh, we have a McLaren around.
Yeah, Veloce is fun. Oh, and no, Veloce will get black flagged from the formation lap.
This is not what Veloce wants. He will be starting on ice cold tires, as everyone around him will be having nice warm rubber.
And we're back into 15 drivers as well.
Heartbreak to see. But as we were saying, Berries, Donsta who got disqualified, we were hoping to score points as he didn't do last weekend. But we have Vodi in the Ferrari, Verstappen, the only Red Bull driver we have on this field today, which is unfortunate to see, as Tom Brooks would have been up there with the top 5, I do believe. But Bunta Racing, Cliffy and VCE Wavies rounding the field. As we wait for them to come around to the grid, Manuel looking to get very feisty with the Mercedes driver, almost going into the back of him twice there. Manuel wanting to get on with this, as he's very close to the Mercedes once again. As the AI has now taken control and will be pulling them back up to the grid. As Veloce must be kicking himself there, which is a rookie mistake, and we do not expect that from such an experienced driver as Veloce.
Yeah, it looks like he just lost traction coming out of Tier1 and spun the back end.
That is correct.
So here we are as the grid is lining up, and I'm sure they're feeling a bit of tension. I'm sure Daniel Rick is gonna try start the best he can.
Veloce must
take a look at him. Veloce must be kicking himself as well. He's gonna be starting on ice cold tires.
The nerves will be playing in this. As here we go.
Quite excited for this.
5 lights here in Austrian Grand Prix, and it's lights out and we have a little bit of a light glitch here, but we are waiting.
As Pepsi likes to say, for the grandma to plug in the lights and away they go.
Oh, Tasmanian takes the lead into corner. Veloce falling down 2 positions as Manuel trying up the inside, doesn't get it done, but right on board there with Veloce. Tasmanian Devil gets another great top, but under pressure from Manuel. Manuel looking to make the move down inside into corner 4 here. What can he do? As he does send it, but will it be clean enough as he does do it?
The racing point has got past Veloce. Manuel has got past Veloce.
That is huge. That is huge. Manuel makes up the place. L1 Veloce has lost 2 positions on the start. The formation lap has affected them terribly.
Daniel Rick has also gained 1 position. And it's only Cliffy, Wavesy and Young Chaspin that have started on the mediums. The rest of the grid has started.
Just tapping at the back of the field now. This is not what Red Bull Racing want to see. Tasmanian Devil trying to pull away from the Racing Point driver of Manuel. Manuel sticking very nicely with the Mercedes F1 driver. Veloce wanting to get those tires up to heat very quickly as he would want to start to catch these pair, as he's falling back 6 tenths away, 7 tenths. As Danny Rick is now pressurizing, and it's a safety car.
Got a safety car.
Cliffy.
It looks like
Berries. Cliffy and Berries, all 3 of them are involved in a small collision. That may put 3 of them into the pits.
As all of them do have wings. The only person who does not have damage is Berries, but Cliffy, Bunta Racing do have damage. But this is what Veloce wants. This is good for Veloce's sake.
Young Verstappen has damage as well. He's gonna have to go in for an end plate.
That is correct there. That's unfortunate to see. As Verstappen was doing very well indeed. As we do have a weird positions glitch, I think. As we have the predicted the pit stop strategy here. Soft to mediums or soft to hards.
Bunter Racing and Berries both have been awarded 4-second time penalties, which is not ideal so early in the race. This track, as we seen yesterday, there was a lot of time penalties given out, running wide on a lot of the corners, so this is not ideal already.
Yes, that is correct. As we have
a bit of a tougher finish, unless people ahead of them start giving time penalties also.
As you do have Cliffy, Bunter Racing and Verstappen boxing. Wait, sorry, Verstappen isn't boxing. Staying out, he does not have damage.
VCE Wavezzi, let's just call him Wavezzi for short, has had an absolutely great debut so far in UNF1. He's made up
5 position changes. Yeah. That's really good, and Berries has lost 3 also.
He's managed to stay clean and get himself up the order, so that's what you like to see so far for him in his debut.
That is correct. He's doing very nicely. As Cliffy goes onto the hards, does he believe he can make it to the end on those hard compound tires? We will see.
Bunter Racing has gone into the pit. He's also got rid of his 5-second time penalty, so that helps him. That might set him back a little bit, but it'll help him in the long run of the race.
Veloce doesn't look to be warming up his rubber much, trying to minimize the tire wear. Veloce not even swerving, or barely swerving at least.
Kimi Räikkönen-esque, he's just Iceman cool, just not really he's trying to keep his tires for as long as he possibly can.
Oh, and we have 8,000 RPM going into the back of Kraken there. Just caught it on camera. As we have our chain reaction.
Loss of concentration there from drivers. I hate to see it.
Both of them have been awarded 5-second time penalties. Once again, penalties being given out really early, lap 4.
Oh no, not the... Oh, sorry.
No, sorry to cut you off.
Project Raw was complaining about his ERS being stuck on, as it is stuck on now. He told me last weekend.
I think that has to be something on his end with his, maybe his equipment.
He said his button broke and now it's stuck on permanently, so he will be wasting ERS.
That's a big disadvantage for him. I feel for him, really, especially through the corners. Those tires are with that extra power going to the back end. It's gonna wear on his rear tires throughout the race.
Yes, as we do have.
Especially on his temps and whole energy saving system. It's really kind of just bogs down the whole car.
That is on. We're having a safety car in this lap to make it worse for 8,000 RPM. As we are now all lining up, Manuel wanting to go. Manuel looking very feisty on the throttle there. As Tasmanian Devil backing them up, making sure the safety car is a good distance ahead, so when he starts he can go full throttle.
Wavesy is also swerving like crazy. He's trying to warm up his tires. He's on the mediums.
Danny needs to be careful or he can go into the back of Veloce.
Veloce has got a second chance now to redeem himself after that formation lap. He's got this restart now to make up a position at least.
You can also see
as Tasmanian Devil goes already into corner 9, as we do have a good start, but Veloce all over the back of, I do believe that is Manuel. Oh, Manuel loses it.
He loses it into the wall.
2 weekends in a row for Manuel and Tunes. As Danny Rick up into the podium once again. As we do with our VSC, I believe. Or we do not. No, we don't.
So unfortunate for Manuel after making up those positions at the very start of the race. It's going to be a long race for him now to get back up to where...
the Ferrari goes into the back of Danny Rick there, up into corner 4.
Johnny is in position on Project Raw.
8,000 RPM has also just pitted. He's now on the hards.
As we have the...
See these guys on the hards, see if they can potentially make them last the way.
That is correct.
Project Raw and Johnny are still fighting. What a
wheel to wheel.
Project Raw.
Project Raw
oh, Johnny, oh, what a brave son.
Does Project Raw have damage, or was that an illegal overtake? As Project Raw loses his left front end plate, Dunster trying to go around the outside there, trying to make quick work of the Mercedes F1 driver, but Project Raw into the pit. Oh, contact between some drivers, as he does cause Woody to go into Wazy, and Wazy goes into Dunster there, as we do have a chain reaction and damage all over the track in corner 9.
We do have yellow flags on track, but it does look like drivers are racing.
That is correct.
Project Raw is also now on the hards. A lot of early pit stops onto the hard down tires, so it'll be interesting to see later on in the race.
Danny Rick showing the pace he does have in P3, keeping a hold of the top 2 drivers. Can Danny Rick make this a 3rd podium in a row?
Yeah, Tasmanian Devil had a little bit of, oh, he touches the grass a bit there. It looks like Veloce is gonna stay on the back of Taz. He looks like he's having a little bit of trouble.
Oh wait, Danny Rick round. Danny Rick is spun on that straightaway between corner 6 and 7.
Was there contact between him and Kraken?
No, Danny Rick just went too wide and hit the gravel and lost the back there.
Wow, we got Cliffy has made his way all the way up to P8 with Wovezi. 3-way battle.
And it's very close as he hits the back of Wovezi. Going into the pit.
Possibly has damage. I'll check it out here. You guys can keep up with the battle.
So that's smack into the wall for Berries. Obviously does.
Veloce catching very quickly up into corner 4 there. Will Veloce send it? Veloce goes very close, but cannot make the move done. Can he make it into corner 5 here? Riding on bone here with the McLaren F1 driver. Does not use overtake, sitting there waiting.
Yeah. Well, Vesey did pick up some wing damage. He had to place a new wing on that Alfa Romeo, so that explains his pace there.
Cliffy down to inside on Woody, as Berries now wanted to make the move past the Ferrari driver. As Cliffy looking in his rear view, trying
all the way up and down the grid.
Well, Veloce closing on Taz there. Taz trying to pull away from Veloce, but nothing doing for the Mercedes driver.
And I might be able to just.
This battle in the midfield, this is a four-way train for P6. It looks like there could be out front on the hards.
Yes,
Manela's going to try to make a move on Young Chapman here. Up into turn 3, he's going to try to get around him. The Red Bull loses it a little bit. He has DRS, he does have DRS, and he goes past him. Pretty easy pass from Manela back with the P13.
Veloce all over the back of Tasmanian Devil for the 2nd lap in a row. Gets very close on into the braking zone, but cannot make any move, as Taz defends very nicely for the lead of the race.
Yeah, Veloce right now, I think he's sitting patiently behind Taz. Taz looks to be getting a little bit of wheel spin in the corners. To me, I don't know about to you guys. It looks to be that his rear end is sliding a bit. So I think Veloce right now is conserving his ERS. Yeah, you see he got pretty much 100% ERS still right now. And I think he's conserving those softs to get to about lap 15, 16 to get onto the mediums and affect that one stop.
Cliffy has had a really good first 8 laps. He's made up 8 changes. He's made up 8 positions. Just in front of him, Donsta has made up 5. And of course, then we have Manel, unfortunately, has lost 10 positions.
Oh, yeah, that's unfortunate. Manel decided to go on the mediums, opposed to Cliffy's decision to go on the hards. So,
oh, here comes Veloce again though. Sorry, Fretchy. Gets very close.
Yeah, battle, close battle up front. Take it away now.
Yeah, as Veloce coming down into corner 5 here. Still a little bit too far back for a move. But as we have this train still continuing, Cliffy loses the back a little bit. Woody all over the back of Cliffy. Berries all over the back of Woody. Bunta racing all over the back of Berries. And Danny Rick, who's unfortunately spun and down into P10.
Ooh, Woody gets a little bit of a lock up there behind Cliffy. They almost make contact.
Is correct.
Be, I think, trying to make a move on Cliffy here, possibly.
I do
and
believe.
It looks like Kraken has also picked up another 3-second time penalty. He had 5 last time I checked. He's now on 8 seconds.
And he looks like he's going to be hopping in the pits right now.
Diving into pits.
So he's going to be the first soft tires. So these soft tires are probably falling off for everyone right about now. So Kraken hops into the pits.
As here comes Veloce, he does use his overtake this time. Veloce waiting for the move, right on board here with Veloce as he turns it off. But is he gonna look round the outside? Yes, he does. Sends it round the outside. Do they come wheel to wheel as he tries to the switch back, as he doesn't. As it's DRS activated, ERS activated.
Yes, Tasmanian Devils.
Looking down the inside.
And Veloce. Oh, a little bit of contact.
Yeah, a little bit of a wheel bang there. They both maintain it nicely though. Veloce pulls off the overtake and takes back his P1 position after that formation lap blunder.
That is correct, as Taz will be fighting back.
Oh, I thought Tasmanian was just about to lose it there. Nice save.
And Johnny is just almost spins out there, but he's just keeping it nice. P3, he's not, he's pushing a little bit, he's not pushing too hard, trying not to make any silly mistakes.
Yeah, sorry, what a race for Johnny and Cliffy so far. 5 positions made up for Johnny and 9 made up for Cliffy. And Donsta too, like you got a pack of guys up here that have just cut their way through the field with all the incidents in the top.
The two Williams are having a go at each other here. Oh, no, apologies. They're not the two, yes they are.
It's Barry's and
Williams in the racing point.
Having a go at each other.
The Williams does have 0% ERS, but sends it from a long way back. Locks up a little bit. Barry's trying to do the switchback on him. Barry's does do it successfully as it's wheel to wheel down into corner 5 here. As the Bunta Racing pulls out to the slipstream of Barry's. Barry's fighting back on the late braking. Maybe can try regain the position, as he doesn't, but he's still fighting very hard and wanting to regain that position from the Williams driver of Bunta Racing. As Veloce with another 3-second penalty, but Veloce checking away from Taz here. Taz trying to hold onto Veloce, but nothing doing. As is that just stopping round? That is just stopping around, and he's very slow on the straightaway.
Yeah, it looks like I'm not sure what. Is something that's happened with
Donsta spins it.
He's into the wall.
Oh, what has happened? There's got to be some kind of glitch going on with Chaza.
Oh wait, Barry had to slam on the brake, losing time to Bunta Racing.
Virtual safety car's been. Oh wow. So Donsta went right into the back of Chestappen, who's a lap down. Not sure what's going on with Chestappen in his car. But
Donsta going off. Contact between the Racing Point driver and the Alpha Tauri on the safety car trying to race. That will not go well.
Just to make a note as well, Daniel Rick, Barry's, Donsta, Vudi, Johnny, Tasmanian Devil and Veloce still have not pitted on themselves, so they must be feeling it. Now Veloce, as we speak, is going into the pits, so Tasmanian Devil. I'm not sure if Johnny will do the same. I'm sure he will, knowing that the two of them have went in.
No, Johnny's staying out. He wants the race lead. He wants the race lead from these two, as he will be hoping the safety car will end this so he can pull away, as it does end and he does get a benefit from it.
This could be big for Johnny here.
Can Cliffy jump the two? Cliffy does jump Tasmanian Devil, but comes right behind Veloce. Can he jump Veloce? He does the wheel to wheel with Veloce. Oh, he tries to move over, makes contact with Veloce. As Vudi gaining very much. Vudi trying to look for a move, nothing doing for the Ferrari driver right now. Wheel to wheel, almost banging, and Cliffy trying to hold it round the outside, but nothing doing.
Amazing scenes here.
But Tasmanian Devil is on the mediums, which means he's trying to go to the end. But Johnny in the race lead. Veloce behind Johnny. Cliffy trying to hold on to the back of Veloce. Vodi trying to hold on to Cliffy. Tasmanian Devil on the mediums, trying to catch Veloce, as he's lost much time to Veloce after that pit stop.
Johnny still has not pitted, he's still staying out. Vudi also likewise is staying out on them softs. Daniel Rick and Barry's also are staying out on them softs. They must be feeling the wear on them tires at this stage. Let's hope it doesn't affect them too long in the
with the free tire choice that Johnny had, those I guess were a fresh pair of softs. So from my experience the other day, I think if he has been taken care of nicely,
that should be okay for another 3
Yeah,
laps.
he can take those softs to lap 14, lap 15. So we'll see. Johnny may have a great chance to build a little bit of
Berries will get the DRS on Daniel Rick. Daniel Rick seems to use a bit of his overtake.
Berries though with 100% overtake.
Oh, Daniel Rick has a bit of a lockout.
Nothing doing for any. But Tasmanian Devil, while we're watching that, Tasmanian Devil is catching Voody and is within DRS range of Voody, of Ferrari driver up ahead, as Voody looks to be boxing to let Tasmanian Devil by, as he does. What is on the apex of the corner, forcing him off the track is Taz.
Voody into the pits now. Let's hope he can get back out and get back into the race.
Danny Rick. Sorry, go ahead there, Fritchie.
Yeah, no, Tasmanian Devil just looks sliding a little bit through the corners. Don't know if it's down to his setup or what, but it's gonna be interesting to see if he can make the mediums last all the way. Veloce decided to go with the hards, so.
Yeah, well, Veloce.
Not completely sure.
Yeah, Veloce within the DRS range of Johnny now. As Veloce will want to make quick work and retake the lead of the race and pull out a gap.
Project Raw is just letting Veloce go by as well. There's also a yellow flag.
As Veloce 6 tenths between the leader and second place at the moment. Johnny wanting to hold his lead, and Johnny pits and Veloce takes the race lead once again, but Cliffy follows him. Cliffy, then Tasmanian Devil, Danny Rick, who will want to be boxing soon, maybe. No, he doesn't, as we have our, sorry, I'm going the wrong way up the field at the moment. Cliffy still within 1.2 seconds of Veloce up ahead, but here behind him is Tasmanian Devil, wanting to get by his teammates at the looks of it. Tasmanian Devil and Project Raw doing very well as teammates right now.
Johnny back out now, hoping he can make up a few positions again and hopefully get back up into that P1.
That is correct. As we do have a Williams looking very slow indeed, as Manuel now pressurizing Bunta Racing for 12th place. Manuel from 15th up, oh, as he's wheel to wheel with his teammate wheel to wheel, the two Racing Point, but Manuel pulling away very nicely. Manuel looking on the move for Bunta Racing, as we now ride on board up into corner 3, I mean corner 5, sorry, 4, sorry, as the two Racing Points make the move past Williams, as the next car up ahead for Manuel is the Dunster.
And Project Raw also has 16 seconds worth of time. He's just retired. He had 16 seconds worth of time penalties.
Yeah, Danny Rick boxing for his first pit stop of this race, as Kraken takes P4. As the two teammates are right on Dunster's rear end. Dunster looking to be going very slow. Manuel hunting Dunster at the looks of it, as he will want to clear it so his teammate cannot get by him, as Manuel on the back of Dunster with DRS overtake, everything activated, closing up very quickly indeed to the AlphaTauri up ahead. Up into corner 4 we go now, into corner 2 and 3, as here we come right on board there with Manuel looking to the inside, wheel to wheel. Manuel makes another move 1 lap later on an AlphaTauri, and he's not the Williams but an AlphaTauri this time, as his teammate Berries would want to clear him now, as Berries fighting round outside as he makes the position on the AlphaTauri driver, but AlphaTauri driver may be going late on brakes. No, he doesn't. And a very nice the teamwork there from the two Racing Point drivers of Berries and Manuel. As we're watching Tasmanian Devil wheel to wheel with Cliffy up into corner 4 here. Tasmanian Devil into the braking zone, leads ahead of Cliffy.
Fritchie, just to get your bit of a race update, how do you feel this race could play out for the rest of the duration? With Cliffy making up 11 positions.
I think it's going to be interesting to see if Cliffy can maybe make a pit stop for the softs and then make a late push, but I don't know if those tires are going to be able to last the whole way. But I think it's going to really be between Veloce and Tasmanian Devil. It's going to be the hard versus mediums. Is Veloce going to be able to push and create that gap, make that 3-second gap last, or is Tasmanian Devil going to eventually catch him? So that's what we're going to see play out here.
And what about the midfield now? What do you feel like? Is they going to be able to play her? Daniel Rick has lost a good few positions. He's back down to P8, 8,000 RPM, also P9. Manel is in P10 after that horrible spin that he had.
I'd like you to know something. Johnny on fresh mediums is in P5, could possibly get a podium by the end of this race if Johnny can take those tires to the end, which should not be too hard. He can get P3, and which will be his first podium of the season. So I do think Johnny has the ability to get a podium. What do you think of Johnny's performance so far?
It's been really strong. He was up in P1 for a little bit, and obviously if he just had a pit the same time as the two boys ahead of him, it might have been a bit different. But I feel like you said, now if he keeps them tires to the end, it could be easily a top 3 for him. Cliffy also was driving extremely well. He's made up 11 positions this race. He's on the hard tire as well.
That is correct. As we do have Cliffy, I think he'll be going the softs at the end, pushing those hards as long as he can without losing too much time. But you can see the tire degradation on his hards. It does not look beautiful at all. As we have the two Racing Point teammates back to back. Will Berries be asked to let by Manuel? Will team orders come in effect here? As Berries all over the back of Manuel. Will Manuel let him by? As they are not even a second apart. As I think Berries would want to go by his teammate, but the question is, does he let him by? As we're watching that, we have a battle for 6 there between Ice Wavy and Voody. DRS activated for the Alfa Romeo driver behind. Can he make the move? No, he cannot. Into corner 5, stays behind for one more lap. As Berries and Manuel wheel to wheel teammates do collide. The teammates have and Manuel fighting hard. Berries being left for dust as his teammate did not want to let him by. That is troubling. If they continue, pardon?
Go ahead.
Yeah. If they continue at this rate, they might be a Danny Rick and Max Verstappen incident. As Manuel fighting hard for that P10 position. As I do think he should let his faster teammate behind let go by, but that's not.
If he gets the DRS, and he will get the DRS again on Voody, this could be a little bit of an upset for Voody. He does have the DRS waves. He is making a move. Whether he can get past him on this corner, we'll just have to watch that play out.
And he gets very close, the Alfa Romeo driver to the Ferrari driver up ahead, but he's just sitting down behind is the Alfa Romeo driver. Does he make a move too far? He thinks about it, decides otherwise, but does not have enough time to make the move. As I do think we have Berries within the DRS range of Manuel. It's an inter-team battle once again. In a few laps, Berries will be all over the back of his teammate once again. But does his teammate fight it this time, or does he let him go by?
Manel also has a 6-second, and his teammate Berries only has a 3, so he is probably trying to push to finish ahead of his teammate. There's also 2 people behind them, both 6. The Donsta and Bunta Racing also both have 6-second time penalties. There's only 4 people on the track at the moment that don't have time penalty. How did you feel about that? Now, even yesterday in the race, there was also a lot of time penalties given.
Yeah, it's very hard to manage the track limits around here, because sometimes you can take the same line over and over, and maybe one lap you run like a centimeter too wide and it'll give you a warning. But Berries activating his overtake, challenging his teammate up into corner 4. Here we go. Berries, does he look down the inside? No, but they almost come together, do the 2 Racing Point cars. As 2 laps later, Berries is all over the back of Manuel once again. But Manuel fighting hard to defend from his teammate, as I do not understand why. but it is not up to me.
There's another Daniel Rick has just gained a time penalty for track limits. He has just gained a time penalty.
That's
3 seconds.
unfortunate to see from the Williams driver doing so well indeed. As
the Alfa Romeo driver who is in Wavesy has just been sitting around the midfield for the majority of this race. He's just going to get past Vidi now, activates the DRS and gets past him into this corner.
I know Woody does challenge him round the outside, but the benefit of the hard tires will play out. As we do have an inter-team battle, Barry's just 4 tenths behind now. Uses the overtake once again to close up to...
He might get past from this time.
He does, and he does. It's wheel to wheel between the two teammates. Does Manuel fight it hard round the outside? Yes, he does. Manuel wheel to wheel. Manuel not backing out once again. But they are now, and now Manuel with the DRS behind. Manuel using his overtake to fight back his teammate. As it is an inter-team battle, Manuel sends it round the outside. Going round around Berries with the leg breaking. Do they come together? No, they don't. But it is now game and match ball to Manuel.
Look at the front again, once again. Veloce and Tasmanian Devil are still P1 and P2, and Cliffy also was doing very well on them hard tires. But Manuel has just been awarded another 3-second time penalty for a warning, so he now has 9 seconds as opposed to his teammate who only has 3.
As Manuel fighting his teammate hard though. As you will see the action coming again, provided by the 2 Racing Point drivers, as Berries activates that DRS once again, closing up to Manuel. Manuel not using his overtake this time. Berries deciding not to fight it this hard this time. Does he look down the inside? Maybe, as he does not, as he gets closer once again. And this is going to be a battle to watch the end, because Berries will be fighting Manuel. Manuel will be fighting back. But
there is 11 laps left in this race. This is turning out to be a really exciting finish.
As Danny Rick is catching Vody now, Danny Rick could possibly get a maybe P6 if he can make quick work of this Ferrari driver up ahead.
Kraken has just been awarded another time penalty. There's so many time penalties being awarded. Another one, Berries has just been awarded another 3-second time penalty.
As he's still trying to get past his teammate.
Oh, and Manuel
dives in the pits, loses the back end into the barrier. Goes Manuel. Does he have damage? As that is probably karma from fighting his teammate so hard. As Danny Rick passes, Vody bumps him off the track. Vody has to take another apex, misses the apex by about 2 states there. As
Johnny again, Noah is still persistently staying up in P5. As we were saying with them tires, do you think Cliffy will go to the side? Cliffy is also going at the box now. He's going to box. He's probably going to go to themselves for the final 10 laps.
That is correct. As Manuel on the softs as well. But Berries wanted to make quick work of the Alfa Romeo. Berries only 1.3 seconds away from his 6th place finish, which will be delightful to see. But he will have to gap the guy by 3 seconds to hold that P6. As Cliffy, is he gonna get jumped by Johnny? It's wheel to wheel with Johnny and Cliffy, as Cliffy looks to be ahead of Johnny. Johnny using the overtake, Cliffy not using the overtake. Johnny going round the outside indeed. Johnny fighting the Haas driver hard, but Cliffy has to slot in for one final corner, as Cliffy would want to make quick work of this Renault team F1 team driver. As Cliffy now all over the back of Johnny. Johnny pulls to the inside to defend, wheel to wheel between the two, as Cliffy round the outside. Benefit of the soft tire compound does play out, and he does make the move on Johnny.
Dunster also has been awarded a time penalty. He has gone off the track one too many times. He now has 9 seconds worth of penalties.
That is correct. But while we're watching that, Danny Rick closed up to Wavesy in 1 lap, and he's now within DRS range, as he will want to clear this Alfa Romeo driver. Goes on to 5th gear, revs out the engine for good measure as he goes wide, and the Ferrari team driver of Kraken boxes. So Johnny now, all Johnny has to do, I do believe, Johnny has to stay within. No, Johnny has the penalty disadvantage.
an 8,000 RPM has done 21 laps on them hard tyres. Wavesy has done 19 laps on his hard tyres, and we also do have both Tasmanian Devil and Veloce doing 13 laps each on their tyres. Cliffy, them soft tyres might help him gain a bit of time on PB1 and 2. He's gaining a bit of time, he's losing time and gaining time as he goes. Oh, and he spins out! Cliffy has spun!
Cliffy has lost it!
As I haven't heard Fritzy's voice in a minute, but Johnny,
the commentator's curse.
But here comes Danny Rick actually. Danny Rick can get a podium if he can clear Johnny R95 in the next 6 laps, I believe. No, 8 laps, I believe. But Danny Rick within the range of that Renault driver up ahead. This could be Danny Rick's 2nd podium in a row if he can clear that Renault F1 team driver who is blocking him and denying him from his podium at the current moment.
Oh man, that's so unfortunate to see. God, Cliffy gets a little bit of a spin again. He was doing so well with that strategy that I predicted of switching from the hard to the soft. He was on a push there. L1 Veloce is up in front and he has 9 seconds of penalties. So right now Tasmanian is really our race leader. And Johnny is going to be like closing in. But man, Cliffy was on such a good push there.
Yes, that is correct. And Johnny's being hounded by Daniel Rick at the moment for P3. Daniel Rick smelling that podium. Daniel Rick wanting that podium as he's going to be pushing, shifting gears too early and causing more wear on his gearbox. But as the Alfa Romeo driver could get his first podium, the newcomer of Wavesy has no penalties and is within 6 seconds of Johnny and 3 seconds of Danny Rick. So he can still get a podium if he can stick with the pair. As Danny Rick looking all over the back of Johnny. Johnny, oh, almost goes into the back of him there, does Danny Rick. Danny Rick loses the back. Now it is Wavesy's turn to make the move on Danny Rick. Danny Rick closing his DRS for some odd moment, and it's a safety car. No, it is a safety car. As now Cliffy is gonna jump everybody ahead of him and be the provisional race leader. As Veloce has lost this race because now he will only have, I do believe, 3 laps to make up his position.
Does anybody know what's caused the safety car?
I do not know what's caused the safety car. I didn't see any collisions.
If Johnny plays this, hey, I know everybody on the field has a penalty except Verstappen down in 14th. But Manuel onto the softs, can he jump his teammate? That is the question, as he would want to, and he's been lapped by Tasmanian Devil.
Daniel Rick now coming out of the pits with Johnny just in front of him. No, Daniel Rick is gone. Johnny is still getting his tires.
The Williams pit boxes later. As Daniel Rick does jump the Renault team F1 team driver in the pit stops, and Manuel disqualified.
It looks like most of the drivers have pitted for those soft tires coming into these last 6 laps. Wavesy
has made the mistake of staying out with Booty.
And he's done 22 laps on them tires, so that will not help him coming into these final few laps.
All he has to do is stay 3 seconds ahead of Booty, and that will seal his first.
That corner, and Wavesy has had to jam on the brakes.
Maybe locking up and causing flat spots on those tires, which will not be helping the tire percentage wear. As this will be a shoot. This will be now a shootout to see who can win and what it takes to win with all these guys here.
Really trying their best. Veloce and Tasmanian Devil to warm up those tyres, and Wazy trying to keep those hard tyres nice and warm to see the softs will.
Oh, Veloce almost passing the safety car there.
I'll have a look down the mid-table, down the midfield. It looks like majority of the drivers want their racing hasn't not. He's stopped 3 times and he's still on those hard tyres.
As we have Cliffy not warming up his tyres, and now he is. As he's doing some very fast swerving there, going almost into the back of Vody. This is redemption for Cliffy here. If he spins it again, that will just be commentator's curse. Not that I want him to spin or anything, but
I think I may have given a bit of a commentator's curse on Cliffy spinning out, but he's back up to P5, so he would have made up a little bit for that spin that he had.
And we do have the safety car in this lap. We are riding on board here with Veloce, who will be telling when they go. Veloce backing up very nicely, making sure Taz cannot get a jump on him. Waiting. I know what Veloce is gonna do. Veloce is gonna wait for the final corner to launch his car.
Make a move.
As he's swerving all over the track, making sure Tasmanian cannot get a jump. He's gonna halt the brakes.
A bit of a touch.
As that was very cheeky there from Veloce.
Tasmanian Devil does not have any penalties.
Hold on, wait a minute. As Vody now making the move for third, but it is 4 wide, going up and Ferrari's on the grass. But as we continue to watch this battle here, and it's Cliffy looking down the inside on the 2 of them. The Cliffy makes a double overtake.
And the Ferrari also almost hits into the wall.
Wait, but Danny Rick trying to get back his podium position from Cliffy. Cliffy all over the back of, Danny Rick all over the back of Cliffy. This is gonna be amazing to see as Danny Rick tries to send it down the inside, but there's no space for him to go. Has to pull the brakes there. As 8,000 RPM goes past Barry's. Barry's struggling with all the damage, and we do have wheel to wheel between 8,000 RPM and Johnny. And 8,000 RPM making the move on Johnny. But off the track.
What a recovery the safety car has been for Cliffy. He's managed to get back up to the podium position. 11 positions made up in the race.
That is, I do think
really good race. I would imagine Cliffy will be awarded driver of the day.
Yellow flag, still everyone's bunched up in the back.
As I do believe Kraken caused that with damage on his front.
Safety
no, it
car.
was Johnny. Johnny has no front wing. Johnny's wing is completely gone.
We're gonna end the race. It looks like we're gonna end the race with the safety car. Maybe have 1 lap.
Yeah, 1 lap shootout.
That's unfortunate. It looks like guys were just bunched up and everyone is really pushing too hard after that last safety car.
As Taz will be smiling because all Taz has to do is not make any mistakes and he will inherit the race lead. But we might have Cliffy challenging and they could make contact, or even Danny Rick could get his 2nd podium in a row if he can get. No, he cannot because Danny Rick has 8 seconds.
He has to finish. He has to get ahead of him for a very long time for Danny Rick to get it. So it's looking like Cliffy might just take this podium.
Yeah, but Veloce can fall on all the way to P3 if he is not careful.
Yes, he can. He has 9 seconds worth of penalties, so he needs to be careful.
As we have Cliffy warming up those rubber soft wall, red compound wall tires. As I do think, and we get Bunter Racing getting a 3-second penalty there. As we have Johnny and Kraken coming into the pit lane. Softs going on to both of them.
Not wrong, unless Veloce finishes 9 seconds ahead of Tasmanian Devil. Tasmanian Devil will win this Austrian GP.
Yeah, Tasmanian Devil has been pretty much our race leader since Veloce collected all the penalties.
Yeah, he's 9 seconds, so I'm sure Tasmanian Devil just needs to stay concentrated now, and Cliffy may take P2. If Cliffy can stay where he is now, this probably will be, like Freddy said, this will be a 1 lap shootout.
Actually,
to go.
So the safety car is in this lap?
Daniel Josh, I just realized something. Daniel could get a podium if he stays within 1 second of Veloce.
Yeah, so this will be a top 4. Vuddy has been awarded a 5-second time penalty for a collision with Wavesy, so that's unfortunate for him.
As Veloce backing up the pack again, weaving from all the way to extreme right of the track to the left to make sure if Taz is there,
Daniel
he cannot go anywhere.
Now it just has to stay 1 second within touch of Veloce.
But Veloce goes already. Veloce goes already. Gets a jump. 1 second.